listening to WQRX. The fuck? Your home for divorced dad rock music. Coming up next, Sweet Mark's new hit, I Drank Too Many Energy Drinks and Deborah Took the Kids.
You're listening to
You're listening to
Y'all
are listening to What's Left of the South.
Everything's so blurry and everyone's so fake.
Oh God, no. So this isn't
You're
even an
listening
after
to
party.
this. You're
This is a
listening.
full episode.
You're listening to WQRX. The fuck? Your home for divorced dad rock, butt rock music.
Nelson, this is a full episode.
Coming
And this
up
is our
next
reintroduction following the
is
name change.
You
Mark's.
hate your stepdad.
it's Sweet Mark's new hit.
If you've ever punched the drywall, this is for you.
Got an ice cold pack of Monster Energy waiting for you in the fridge.
Hey,
It's
coming up
Monster
next,
Energy and Bud Light.
Sweet Mark's new hit. I drank too many energy drinks and Deborah took the kids.
Now my jaw is numb.
Now my jaw is numb.
No, it's gotta be more like a Blink-182 title. It's
What would it be? Hold on, it'd be something
just
like
weird.
it would be like Jab Me.
Instead
me.
of Adam's song, it's Kyle's song.
Kyle's song.
I never thought Deborah
The whole-
would take the kids. That
It's like,
fucking bitch.
when I started going on Spotify making my own playlists, like, oh, I'll put on a bunch of like the alt rock that I listened to when I was a teenager, and I was putting on like Blink-182 songs, and I forgot what Adam's song even was,
Oh
and then I
my
put it on there,
gosh.
and you'll be listening to like some fun trash pop punk, and all of a sudden it's just this song that makes you want to die. You
Yeah,
just
oh my
like that's
God.
it. That's it. That's
I
the
can't,
vibe
like,
is
that-
over.
That song, and the thing is, like, I know they're back on tour, and like I watched a TikTok where like Mark was talking about it, and he was just like talking about how like the meaning of the song has like changed a lot, and like how because he survived cancer and like all this other stuff that happened, he was like he was like let's make the crowd cry, and they hit Adam's song. It was just like that line, everyone knows the line I'm talking about. That like if you're about to cry, you hear that line, and you're just like. But anyway, yeah.
The
So
one about
everyone,
spilling apple juice. That
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
no use crying over spilled apple juice.
Apple juice, exactly. Everyone, Mark has left his Morgan Wallen phase and has gone straight into the dude from Puddle of Mud look. So everything's
No
so
one knows who
blurry
you're talking about.
and everyone's so fake. She fucking hates me.
I wish people were listening when I was explaining that when I went to look up a picture of this guy, I instead got a story about all the crimes he's committed, including riding the oversized luggage carousel in Denver International
That's
He
the only
Airport.
cool thing he's done.
He wanted to get to the bottom of those conspiracies, brother. He wanted to know what
Like-
Lucifer was all about, and he wanted to find the aliens underneath the Denver airport.
Do you guys get the people on TikTok who are like, I lost my luggage, but I left an air tag on it, and for some reason it's in Denver. So I've had to send my friends to Denver to go find it. It's sitting in like a fucking like Starbucks or something in
What
Denver.
the fuck?
I get those all the time.
That's fucking weird.
I don't know what's going on with air travel in the US, but I am fucking terrified of it now.
Oh my
Stuff
god.
falls apart. People are seeing stuff.
All right, y'all. We gotta push this plane down the runway. We gotta pop the clutch. The battery's dead.
Everybody
We
jump
gotta
when I
pop
tell
the
you.
clutch and come on, jump on the plane, y'all. Do it. Come on. My name's Sully Sullenberger. Let's do this.
This is supposed to be an episode,
Yeah,
guys.
This is a
an
great
episode.
episode, y'all. Anyway, thank you everyone to tuning in to whatever we're named now. I have had
Come on. No, shut
Okay.
the fuck up. You're
Okay.
gonna do this right.
Okay. I don't have it. I don't have the stuff up, but we are What's Left of the South. I'm tired. And my hosts are.
Sleepy.
And
Dopey.
I was going to go with grumpy. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, give
my
yourself
God.
some credit. You can be grumpy.
Yeah.
Not dopey.
Not dopey. Yeah. Kyle, you're definitely not dopey.
Okay.
Was there
I
was there
guess.
Smarty? Was like the smartest one of the group? That's
Doc.
Doc.
Doc. Kai's Doc. Kai's like, you stupid fucking dwarfs. Get your
He
shit
was
together.
tall. He was marginally taller than the rest of them too.
We do got to get Mark that shirt that says unfriendly.
No, I need the person-sized service dog vest.
Nervous, do
have-
not approach.
Nervous, do not approach. We'll bite.
Kai is emotional support friend.
Oh my god.
Kai always has snacks and fruit in like juice boxes. Here you go. It's okay.
My rabies bumper sticker doesn't work. People still get right up on my tail. when
They
I'm
want
driving to
rabies.
work.
Blah, 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 blah.
You'd have to get out
Really?
of the car to give them rabies, and they know that you're not going to do that. We know
Yeah.
you're not going to do that.
I don't know. Mark could bite somebody. I could totally see Mark biting somebody.
Could you see
No.
Mark biting somebody in traffic, getting
Yes.
out of their
Somebody-
vehicle?
Oh yeah, getting out of the
Anybody
vehicle.
could like do that thing where they put their palm on my head and I can't reach them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. Let me get into this so that we can actually start this episode. For anybody who hasn't realized, we haven't talked to each other in like almost 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah. Because
So-
I decided to move out of my mom's house like a bad Italian son. Mamma mia. What am I gonna do? I made my mother cry. I move out of the house.
Nelson got a big boy job and moved
Yeah.
cities.
I know, right? So if anyone's listening that lives in Birmingham, and you see me in public, you
No,
don't.
you didn't.
You didn't. I want to be a recluse now, but I have to pay a lot more in rent.
So yeah, anybody who's new to the show, we had this suggestion come up on our Discord. By the way, join our Discord, join our
Woo.
Patreon so that you can get our Discord.
Hell yeah.
So Dawn and Quartered put forward this suggestion. For anybody who's been longtime listeners, you know that we changed our name in the last year of the show. And they said that, hey, maybe we should do a new like reintroduction episode. So I've made a list of things for everyone to answer because I
We're
can't do
back.
anything without planning. Yeah, Nelson got his big boy job and moved cities, and then we didn't see each other for a long time. Blah 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 blah. So I mean, we kind of need
God.
content.
I'm gonna pat myself in the back because not only did I got hired. I had to find a place to live. I couldn't move in till a week after work started, so I had to book an extended stay. Then I had to get the stuff up here. Like I had to do so much on top of having to work at this extremely stressful job. So I have been able to do all that in like 5 days. And that's that. I was able to do all of that. So and I put all my furniture together, and I'm still trying to get everything situated. But I did big boy things, and I was happy.
without getting into any of the weeds of what you're actually doing, I did notice in one of the pictures he sent us that you are one of 8 people left on the planet who has a printer.
Oh yeah,
You're a
I-
And
printer
it's a
house?
big
Yeah.
ass printer too.
no, it's a printer, scanner, copier, like combination. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
they
It's
all-
great.
Supply that for you.
I mean, yeah, there's at my place of business they have them, but I want them I needed one at the house too, just in case. Because sometimes it'd be easier just to print it off here than go to there and make a bunch of copies than it would be to like have to, because like today, for example, I wanted to get some copies made. I wanted to print some stuff off, multiple copies of it.
Be
And-
untraceable.
And I did the thing. I typed in my code and it went to the printer, and there was somebody in there already printing off stuff, and she had to print off like 100 copies of something. So, and then like more copies of other stuff for her quote unquote coworkers. So I would have to wait forever. So it's probably best that I print stuff at home and maybe make some copies at work if I need to. But yeah. Yay! And we're back.
So when Nelson gets caught for all of his nefarious crimes, and they're like, we have to match this document to something that he might have printed at home, and be like, but you see that this printer specifically only prints this R in a really fucked up way, and all the ways that they manufacture evidence for these cases.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
We
lie.
know.
It's just like, oh my god, like it's. I thought this job was gonna be completely different, and I got there. It's like the most lax, like environment for what I'm doing, and I'm able to like say the things that I want to, And I never thought I'd be able to do that in like this specific environment. It's great.
They don't know what they've done.
They've allowed the
power they've
contagion in.
unleashed.
I literally
Infiltrated.
got to put forth to a group of people what I thought should have happened, like Jefferson Davis and his cabinet and Robert E. Lee and the officer corps after the Civil War. And they were like, yeah, that's awesome. I was like, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So to start off the episode, Nelson, why don't you give us a little history, how the show started, the history of the show, anything that you can remember from the early days.
Well, a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was like, hey, I'm a white guy. Let me start a podcast. So like, what the fuck? So basically, what in 2019, October 2019, is when we started. And basically I was listening to this podcast, Pros of the Round Table, and I was just like, I could do that and not get drunk like every episode because I don't really drink. So and then like around that time, people were like really talking about the South, and they were like and people like the chronically online left community was like really infatuated with the South. They're like, what's up with the South? What's going on down there? What are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. Do you mean there's blah, 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 blah? What's happening? And I'm just like, yeah, there's leftists down here. There's like a lot of us, and we're organizing and doing stuff and trying to get stuff passed and fix things and organizing, et cetera, et cetera. And then like another thing was I had a summer camp in the Catskills in New York, and I would always get asked like the most asinine questions about like what it's like living in Alabama. And it was just ugh. So I was like, all right, I can get people that I know and we could do a podcast. And so we had the original name, and we were recording in a studio that my friend had, and we put out the first episode about Blair Mountain, and it started picking up steam, and eventually like it was getting more steam. And then it was just then the Patreon was able to pay for the podcast, and then we were getting more money, and we were making more episodes. And then COVID hit, and we had to go like over Zoom, and that was a massive like change, like learning experience. And so just over time, since 2019 to 2023. So what this is like 3.5 years we've been doing this, right? Something around there. So
We're
like,
coming up on 4. You're coming up on 4.
I'm coming up on 4, brother. Turn 4.
Yeah,
never
you've got like
forget.
2. It's like 3 years and 10 months.
Turn 4, never forget, brother.
Jeez.
Saddest day in 2001. But what ended up we kept going, and obviously we've changed hosts. We've changed names, we've grown, we've changed, we've gotten better, I think. And now we're here, and we're now What's Left of the South, podcast about Southern working class history and current events through a leftist perspective. I'm surrounded, much like Custer, the Battle of Greasegrass, and Kai took my scalp because I have no hair.
There was nothing there for me to take.
There's
sorry.
nothing there. That's the history of the show. Like, we've had ups and downs, we've changed hosts, we've grown, we've gotten better. It's fun. I never expected it to get as big as it has, and I don't really like see it becoming it's just fun. Like I would like, that's the main thing, is that it's fun. I like doing it with y'all. I like doing the podcast. We've met in real life. We're all besties, and it's been fun. Like I said, I never thought it'd get as big as it has. I've had people like on the like in real life come up and be like, oh my God, not like come up, but it's like come up in conversation. They're like, oh my God, listen to that podcast, blah 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 blah. You're Nelson, and I'm just like, holy shit. And then like people that listen to it that I never thought would like actually listen to it in public, I was like, holy shit, you actually listen to the show. But one funny thing is the amount of like shit we give to the Pacific Northwest. Like, a lot of our fans in the Pacific Northwest, which I think is the funniest fucking thing. But yeah, so it's grown more than I ever thought. It's a lot of fun, and maybe it'll get bigger. Maybe it'll stay the same. Maybe it'll just be us talking to ourselves. So at the end of the day, we're What's Left of the South, and Mark looks like he fronts a divorced dad butt rock band, and Kai has definitely gotten more giggly and happier since the podcast, and
That's because we very first
And
met
loosened
because
up.
I was threatening you.
that is true. And we bonded over Ghost Adventures.
Exactly. Well, okay, that kind of goes
Aaron,
into the next.
Aaron, go into this room where his family was butchered and horrible things happened, and you're gonna stay in this room all night.
By yourself. I'm going to
By
lock you in
yourself.
here.
Also, there's a loaded gun and a knife. It's gonna be
The
pitch
trigger
black.
objects, Aaron.
And we're gonna be playing ghost noises. Also, there may or may not be an anaconda in there with you.
Okay, shut up. Okay. So, my next question, this is obviously going to go for all of us because we're reintroducing ourselves. But Nelson, go ahead and start. Tell us who you are, anything that
Who
you think is
are
relevant to the show.
you, comrade? Questions.
Anything relevant to the show, who you are. What should people know about you as a host?
I'm just a kid, and this life is a nightmare. As
Wow,
you
okay,
can tell,
hitting with the simple plan
as
this
you
early.
can tell, I am annoying. I'm here. Y'all are queer, and we're doing this show. So basically, who am I? I'm the person that made The Sopranos his entire personality because my family's from Italy. I'm Nelson. I have degrees that are finally making me some sort of money that I can live off of. I just moved to Birmingham. I have a printer, which apparently Mark thinks is weird.
I think it's weird.
And Kai thinks it's weird.
You got a fax machine too?
Actually, it can be a fax machine. It
Oh my
actually
God.
does work. And I got a phone jack. I should
I
start
need
faxing
you
guys
need to
stuff.
plug that in and give me the phone number so I can just fax you some weird shit every once in a while. You'll just come home and go, "What the fuck is
My-
that?"
my-
Ransom letter?
My dad's at our family business. They had a fax machine for so long. We would get like spam fax, and I was like, "What the
We get spam
fuck is
faxes
this?"
at work.
Spam
It's all roofing
faxes are-
companies.
The spam faxes are the best. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, okay, shall I make this? Where are you from? Where do you fall in the leftism sphere? If you
Oh.
think it's important,
I'm a
go.
white guy with a beard and no head hair. I want a Toyota Tacoma. So I'm one of those people. I was born and raised in Montgomery, and I just moved up the road to Birmingham. And then one day I'll be somewhere else, maybe. I don't know where I fall on the spectrum.
ADHD. That's where you fall.
ADHD, yeah, big time. I get so like I've read some theory and I've like life experience, but I've come to this radicalization through mostly literature and then like some like kind of, and we'll get to like what radicalized you later. But I don't know. I guess I would fall. I don't really know. I could say like Marxist Leninism, but like I like Mao stuff because since we interviewed Black Red Guard and like talked to him more about Maoism, so I guess like the more, I don't know, the shit's fucked up and bullshit. So I think whatever one's gonna fix it,
Shit's fucked up party.
shit's fucked up party. Obviously white people are the devil, and
White skin is the mark of Cain.
it is white skin, whitest skin and full of sin. The mark of Cain. I am a Yakubian devil. Yakub, that big head scientist, made me in his image. Well, not really in his image.
No, really. Ran out of ink.
Me and my fellow Yakubians crawled out of our caves in Europe and invaded the world and have taken over. And Kai and Mark should have their land given back to them. And the United States is a mistake. That's basically it. So I mean, if you want like an actual, if people listening want an actual like intellectual answer, I would say like I guess Marxist Leninism, Maoism, learning more about Maoism. I think that there's a different. I think when Mao talks about the peasant class, I think there's a difference in the United States in what we would consider like the peasantry compared to like other developing countries. So it's just interesting to take whatever people have written and put it into the American experience. I don't think that like you can't take what people wrote like 50, 100, 150 years ago and just say, oh, that's it. I mean, like, you have to apply it. It's a science. You have to apply it to the society you live in. So anytime we read those books, those theory books, we have to like take that theory and put it to the material conditions in which we live in the United States. And it's going to be different than like Europe is going to have, or China, or any other place, because we have other contradictions and other problems we have to address, especially the fact that the land is stolen. So that's the big one. So yeah, the everyday jargon is shit's fucked up and bullshit, man. And I'm tired.
Okay, Mark.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired, brother.
It's also my political party.
Mark, why
The
don't you
rent
give us
is
your
too damn
introduction?
high, party. Sweet
I'm
Mark.
Mark.
No, you're Sweet Mark.
Sometimes when I'm not at work.
Sometimes he's sour. Sometimes he's sketchy. So we don't know.
Mark is a sour.
I try not to
Patch
be
Kid.
sketchy.
Like sometimes he's sour, sometimes he's sweet.
Sometimes I'm
Sometimes he'll bite you
I don't bite.
and give you raisins.
Sometimes he crawls up the wall in a Chili's.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm startled easily. I'll say
Sometimes
that.
everything bad that could happen to someone at a Ren Fair happens to Mark.
Look, I still had fun.
I know you were a trooper.
I use both he, him, and they, them pronouns. I am from Northwest Georgia,
Woo!
and I exist here for like mostly out of spite for Marjorie Taylor Greene at this point, because I'm not gonna leave before she is. I'll make that'll
Stare
be
down.
yeah. There's only room in this town for one of us.
Dolly made me the sheriff of this here holler. Rootin' tootin'
I don't
varmint.
know. I'm not involved in anything else like crazy. I like hillbilly stuff, I guess, is
And you're an artist.
right, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just out here in the woods,
Honestly, yeah.
ill-equipped.
when we've gone to visit Mark, it's just like woods and then Mark.
Every time someone posts like a picture of like a raccoon doing something, I'm like, oh, it's Mark.
Yeah, and I'll like send pictures of bugs and like birds to people. So
Sometimes animal carcasses, if we're lucky.
I ask first. I say trigger warning.
Mark
I don't know.
Mark had a herd of turkeys walking through their yard earlier.
Sure did.
All it needed was the Jurassic Park kazoo theme. Like, honestly.
But yeah, it's nice here. I love it up here because there's stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel it's that's kind of my like spirituality too. Like I'm not like in anything else. I just living here is pretty much it. And for my I don't want to sound like pretentious,
Say it, Mark.
but the closest like internet label I guess I would pick is like anarcho-socialism, because I don't really. It's not
Don't
that I
they
don't
hate
like
each other?
rules.
I don't know.
I
Man.
know.
Everybody hates everybody.
I know. When you said what's your whatever, I was like, people are gonna say something regardless.
I don't know
know.
what any of it truly is. So
Right?
now
No one
somebody-
does. It's just whatever's in your
It's just-
freaking Twitter
it's just
bio
words,
to make
man.
you look.
Whatever flag you want to
Smarter.
use and whatever labels you want, man.
My pronouns are USA.
You-
I identify as a threat.
Hell yeah,
And your
brother.
pronouns are was were.
Colon slaw.
Covered in
Baked
mayonnaise and filled with
beans.
cabbage.
Make America great again.
All right, somebody has to ask me or I'm gonna sound crazy.
What
Hi,
about you, Kai?
who are you?
This is the elder millennial in me just hearing that the Who song every time. Who are you?
You don't get fooled again.
Um, so I'm Kai. I'm
Kai
indigenous.
from
I'm
Dogtown. Woo!
Oh, I didn't say that I was Choctaw. My bad.
Mark is
I
my
didn't write anything down.
compatriot in the indigenous side. That we are the ones who are surrounding Nelson.
Oh shit!
I'm Mohawk, Comanche, and Apache. I'm from Orlando. Well, I'm from west of Orlando to begin with, way out in the
Way out in the swamp,
no, not the swamp, way out in the cattle fields and the orange
not the
groves
swamp.
and everything. Where the meth heads live. That's where I was originally from. We lived in trailers.
Tell
Nothing
you
wrong with
what.
that.
From out there, and then moved to Orlando when I was pretty young. I'm a fourth generation, what my family is dubbed edutainer. So I'm the fourth generation doing education and entertainment for basically just teaching white people that indigenous people exist. I joined the show after you guys were on for like over a year, I think like a year and a half.
The first implosion.
Basically, Nelson and I met because I threatened him over the second ever episode of the show. Because originally the show had a Facebook page that shared memes that was very popular, and I got one of them and decided, I'm tired of telling people that like I'm from the South and people reacting weird to me. But then somebody announced that your second episode was going to be on the Indian Wars down in Alabama.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, look at me. I'm watching you.
Look at me, white man.
And then I came on as a guest a couple of times, and then I got added to the crew after a couple of other after a couple of other hosts left. Might as well be ghosts. We haven't seen hide nor hair of this since then, have we?
One of the last nights I was in Montgomery, I was driving home late one night, and I saw our former host walking on the side of the road.
It was a ghost.
I was like, oh shit. But the moral of the story is, y'all, is message your favorite podcast, and the person responding, be nice to the person, and then one day you'll be a host of the podcast.
No, don't follow that.
I mean, that's sort of
the fans.
Yeah, you missed the boat, guys. Sorry,
y'all.
That's sort of what happened with me. A little bit.
Yeah, you got like forced onto the show.
I was like
Yeah.
the only person that was like in your like TikTok lives sometimes. And I'd be like, hey Nelson, hey, redacted. and
Sweet man.
then I gave you money.
Yeah.
And then I was
You just
you
canceled
bought your way onto the show.
You just canceled your Patreon subscription. I saw that.
I needed money, bro.
I remember when you
Sorry.
messaged me on Patreon. You're like, can you address it to redacted?
Yeah, and you're like,
cetera,
sure thing, redacted. And I was like, oh. So for the on the record, the first interaction, 101 interaction. Violently misgendered.
Look, man, I couldn't process two things. It was like,
It was okay. I was
call
never
me
to say nothing.
this
But now
on
it's
here,
being
but
aired out.
call me this on here. So I because I live with family members. I was like, my ADHD brain was just like, oh hi, redacted.
cannot hold two things at once. No.
And then I was like, no. But it's okay. We don't have to worry about that anymore. 'Cause
I
didn't get
tried.
kicked out.
I tried.
As far as where I fall in the leftism sphere, I don't think there's a name for it
Kill
except
all the white man.
except like being indigenous. I don't know. I'm for my people. That is the be all end all of my stance. Has always been, will always be. I consider that anybody who thinks there's going to be a dual state, whoever thinks that there's going to be like a land back scenario, or not even land back, just like an overthrow of the U.S. state, and then thinks that there's going to be a dual state between indigenous people and I don't know, settlers afterwards.
Whitelandia.
like I think you're full
Portland.
of shit, and you're also
Portland.
wrong.
Portland. Portland. But I think we do have like running themes on the show. Is like capitalism is a bag of dicks, and we're like we're all of us are on the left in some way, shape, or form, and we've agreed on certain things. And like the running theme is that capitalism fucking sucks, and settler colonialism fucking sucks, and that's basically like the premise. That's like I guess would be the basis of
anti-white supremacy after colonialism.
Yeah,
anti-fat, all of that. Yeah.
And I think the main thing, if y'all, I don't want to speak for y'all, but I think the main thing is just like the misconceptions about the South. I think that's probably the main thing. Like people were like, oh, I thought all the indigenous people were like driven out of the South, and I was like, no, the people are still here. And it's just like, oh, I thought the South was like blah 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 blah, and everybody fucks their cousin and blah 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 blah. I was like, no, there's actually more cousin. Actually, we have the same rate of cousin fucking as the Pacific Northwest. So there you go. Fuck you, Portland.
Hopefully we're gonna get down to zero cousin fucking at some point.
Roll Tide, brother.
That's not my business.
Well, okay, we can move on to that question then. What do you want your work on the podcast to mean, and who do you want it to reach?
I thought we would do what radicalized you.
You started moving on to that one, so I can just move. I can hold two ideas in my head at once, Nelson.
You made a list. Oh my god. Okay. We'll
I wish we had a visual podcast.
Nelson just literally glitched. Would you like to answer what radicalized you first?
Actually, I want to get something to drink. I don't want to miss anyone's
Are you
answers.
kidding me?
I'm sorry. Listen,
okay, everybody shut up.
Listen, mister doesn't respond to the fucking group chat and makes your mother have a nervous fucking breakdown because you won't fucking respond.
I've had a heart react.
You broody teenage fuck.
I saw it. I have three drinks. I'm three times as prepared
you little
as you.
shit. I have it's hot as shit and I have window units. Fuck off.
I got a window unit too.
I know, right? This is what it's like to be poor. This shit sucks, dude. I want to go back.
I was like gonna say, like, do you have any, like,
my mom was right.
Up?
My mom was right. The poors.
He'll tile.
The poors.
All right, everybody shut up and Mr. Speaker put in some elevator music now so that Nelson can go get his drink.
Let's see if I can tell what's in the background. Like a freaking padded room. Looks like he's got like nunchucks or something. What is that?
Nunchucks?
Can you
I
tell
have
that
no
is?
idea.
That blue?
No. Is it like a blue like rag? I see an air duct right above there. Do you see that air duct?
Yeah. Does he just not know where his like thermostat is?
And we're back.
Is that or is that not an air duct right above your door? The door.
So it is, but the apartment complex does not have central air. It has central heating. So that's my heating. So now I have two window units. There's one in my room and then one in the living room.
Turn it on. Maybe you'll be confused.
It is on.
Mm.
The window units are on. But I'm not
No,
turning the
the
heat
heater.
on. No. So two things, right? Two things before we continue. Like hopefully the elevator music.
Again, we wish that the podcast was visual because he just did the Italian fingers at us.
Hey, two things. So this is how much y'all live in my head. Two things. Well, actually, one of them is for both of you. One of them specifically for Mark. So this is a really old apartment complex. So when they I guess gutted all the wiring and rewired it, but it's like an industrial type deal. So like you see the metal piping and it goes to like the reciprocals are like outside, and then it goes to the metal piping. You can see it. I mean, it's cool because I have a lot of outlets. I have to admit, for this apartment, I have a ton of outlets, which is great. But they wired it weird. So my living room is kind of like a half circle with bay windows, and so they wired it to there's two switches in one of the receptacles, and if you flip one, turns on the light, But if you flip the other switch off, it shuts off everything on that strip, which would be the internet, TV, Xbox, AC, everything. And all I could think about was like all of us in the apartment. And before I could say, hey, don't flip that switch, one of y'all flips it and turns off everything and has a panic attack. Second is when I was opening up, my dad got me a cool tool box. He got me a decent toolkit, right? And it had a box cutter in it to open up my boxes. And there's a few times where I lost the box cutter and I was like, oh God, Mark, don't. Like, it just in my head.
What does that mean?
What?
It's like I couldn't have.
One, put painter's tape over the other switch that you
That's
don't
what
want to
I'm
hit by
gonna
accident.
do.
One, I wouldn't flip a switch in a house that isn't mine.
And second,
Honestly,
sounds,
Mark,
like,
you
rude.
have to coax Mark in like a feral cat with like a little tin of cat food and crouch next to the door to make sure that Mark will come inside.
oh my fucking
What makes
God,
you
you're
think
right.
he's gonna start flipping switches?
It's like, no, it's the one switch you do flip is gonna be that one.
I took my shoes off in my friend's house and she asked me what I was doing.
I lost the box cutter like 4 times. I was just like,
What do you mean by that?
if Mark found this, I'd be like, Mark, no, don't do it.
What do you mean by that?
Don't do it, Mark.
Go ahead, explain.
Jeez.
You would stab us.
Hmm.
You would stab me.
Okay.
We are
Yeah.
trying to record a podcast.
Yeah, like a public.
But go back and listen to the episodes and fucking subscribe to After Dark. Look, we can be funny. Okay, others, like a lot of political podcasts are not funny. Like we could be. We are
Sounds like
proving.
you're.
Shut up. We are proving to the world, right, that you don't have to be 3 cishet white dudes to have a funny podcast. We have broken the norm, and we are doing it.
We
y'all.
are broken all ourselves.
We are fucking broken. As I drink from the cup that the fucking company that has a monopoly, apparently, on all the apartment complexes in the Birmingham area, gave me
Is
my
that a
welcome
solo
package.
cup but silver?
It's it's like a hard plastic reusable solo cup, and it has their
That-
logo on it.
That logo looks a little bit like the Hollywood Hotel, the Hollywood Tower of Terror logo.
This company, if you're in Birmingham and you're listening, you know what company I'm talking to, has the virtual fucking monopoly on every single rental property in the city. But I
What
will
are
have
you
to
gonna
admit,
do about
I will have to admit, my shower head busted, and so I took a bath for the first time in like, I don't know, I'm since forever, in like over 20 years, and it was nice. I laid there and I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
you
But,
made soup is what you did.
I needed to put on
Put
Dido
some
and
carrots
listen
and
to
potatoes in there.
No, I needed to turn up the lights and light a candle and listen to Thank You by Dido and on repeat.
What are we doing here?
We're recording a fucking podcast, you asshole. And then so I put in the maintenance request Saturday or Sunday, and they fixed it today while I was at work, and it works now. So I can take a shower finally. I went a day without a shower and they fixed it. I was like, thank you, maintenance guy. I know you're not listening, maintenance guy. You wouldn't even know it was you, but I appreciate it. But thanks for. I think at one point someone like in this apartment tried to kick in the door because like it's cracked a bit, and I'm just like, maybe I should get this door replaced. But I got one of those cameras, right? There's like security cameras, or Wi-Fi ones that like you have the app on your phone. You can see if anyone's in your apartment, and you can talk to them. Be like, hey, get the fuck out of my apartment, dude. Don't steal anything, please.
I hope there comes a day when we come visit you where you live and you have to like go out for something or be at work. We're gonna be in your apartment just pulling the stupidest faces into that camera and hoping you turn it on every once in a while.
Oh my god. I can't
We're
wait.
gonna turn on your furniture upside.
I literally, Mark, I want you to know this. I literally got a futon couch just for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very kind of you.
It's probably not as comfortable as the other one, but I was
The
just
other one
like,
was dog shit.
Oh god.
wow.
You moved out and now he doesn't have to hide it anymore.
Wow. Wow.
But like I was like
Wow.
in like a dinghy on the side of a ship.
Wow, what an asshole.
You don't have it anymore.
Such a dick. This couch is a lot smaller than I thought, but it does have cup holders in the middle. You put down the middle thing and it has cup holders. That was a winner for me. Also, I totally forgot to put the middle legs in place. So I was like, why is it kind of bowing in the middle? I was like, oh, that's where those legs go. So I fixed it and it's fine.
You just thought there was 2 extra legs.
I was just like, why'd they give me 2 extra legs? But I put together my desk, the couch, the TV fucking table, which was a pain in the ass. I had to find a YouTube video how to put it together. It was, good Lord, doors and everything. I had to fucking like a damn carpenter. My coffee table, the chairs for my kitchen for my kitchen dining table, whatever, and 2 end tables. So I have furnished my apartment. I have chairs and a couch and tables and things as such. However, it was pointed out to me by a certain indigenous woman living abroad that my furniture is that of a single straight man living in an apartment because it's all black and it doesn't have round edges, and
It's
another
corners on everything.
there's the corners and everything. And another indigenous person that shall not be named that lives in Georgia reminded me that I don't have any like color in my apartment or plants or anything. It's kind of
No comfort, bro.
bro, I literally just moved in. I have my artwork and stuff like in the hallway. I gotta put it up. So I'm gonna do it. Don't worry.
Okay, can we get
Not
back
just
to the
flags.
podcast?
Not just flags. Okay, I have paintings and stuff I'm gonna hang.
Oh,
Maybe 2 friends of mine should get me a plant or 2 so I can have a plant.
Motherfucker, I asked you for your new address and you have not supplied me with it yet.
Yeah, what
I
is
am
it, Nelson?
planning on sending you something.
My new address is 2030 boo, Birmingham, Alabama 35 boo. That's my new address.
Nelson, what radicalized you? As he takes a drink. Go ahead, make more slurping noises. Wait. Should I hit it with the cup?
I was
I don't have anything that
gonna say the thing. I was gonna say the thing I know that you 2 are gonna say just to see y'all's reactions.
Answer the question,
Growing up indigenous, regular.
sir.
I
You
know
will
that was
answer
good.
the question or be
Okay.
found in contempt of court. Answer the
I want the
question.
truth. You can't handle the truth.
was it your great grandmother?
She was a Cherokee princess.
No, she was a fucking wasp and we know it.
First off, how dare you?
You know your genealogy by now, man. We talked about
most
this
of
enough.
most of his Iron Eyes Cody was my granddad. I'm indigenous. What radicalized me? So basically, Mark's too young to remember this, but Kai and I grew up during the Bush administration. So basically, the Bush administration, like coming of age during that time, really did radicalize me. So I was in 5th grade when 9/11 happened. So I was 10, I was a month away from turning 11. And then I was in middle school. I was 13, I was 14 when Bush won his second term in the middle of shit, like during the Iraq War. And then like being an actual like full blown teenager during the surge and like the bullshit of the Bush administration, from the Patriot Act, No Child Left Behind, to the Iraq and Afghanistan war, basically seeing that every night and just watching that quagmire unfold and realizing it's just bullshit. We went to war for oil and a lie. Like it was just all just shit. And then watching people older than me like go over and have to fight and like dying or coming back injured or wounded. And then like Occupy Wall Street and all that stuff. Like that got me into I guess leftism and like leftist theory and stuff like that. So really, I guess growing up under the Bush administration is what radicalized me, because like, you know, I'm just a cishet white dude, right? Like I get nothing I can't do, right? So it was really having empathy for others, and then like looking and like seeing the world for what it is, and seeing like just the bullshit of just the Bush administration. And I really want to take it back. I was 10 when and watching the 2000 election and having the know-it-all like at that age, still very interested in politics, and thinking like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, what the fuck happened in Florida, Kai? What happened down there?
Hanging chads, Nelson.
Hanging chads, bro. And that was really like the start of it. Like that was my first political experience, was watching the shit show that was the 2000 election. and then watching the shit show that was the 2004 election, and then Obeezy getting elected, and then like just shitting the bed completely. So that everything from like 2000 to like 2008 radicalized me.
How about you, Mark?
Well, I don't have any historical events and names to pull out.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
Um,
it's historical events, Nelson. We're old as shit.
do.
I don't know. I think it's easier for people like Gen Z to just kind of
Oh, here we
like,
go.
Shut up.
okay. Um, no, because I mean, we have access to like all this information all the time. And even though I'm like on the older side of it where I didn't have that, um, it was like people um before me, like my uncle was really into punk music. And so I was already like hearing these ideas as a kid and not knowing what they meant, and then hearing like anti-cop, anti imperialism, and just um pro working class ideas all the time. And um just I took the golden rule to heart like so much that it hurt my feelings sometimes in school. And just like I don't know, I find it really easy to put myself in other people's shoes. So it wasn't really like a light bulb moment really. I just kind of tend to naturally see the world that way. But I'm trying to think of like a canon event, if you will. Like because I don't know, like just being bombarded. Like I remember I have I don't know if it was just Georgia, like Northwest Georgia, but I had a picture of George W. Bush in my yearbook. We would watch 9/11 stuff every year, and we just learned so much Civil War history like every single year. And it was like, why are they trying so hard to drive this home into us? It just kind of, the distance from that kind of made me rebel against it and then seek out my own kind of answers whenever I had access to the books and the internet to do it. Because in my area, um, I don't know about when I was younger, but it's always been read. And the last time I saw something for our Democratic Party, um, it was like they got four people to stand on like a street corner with signs, and that was it. And one of them was like the lady who's supposed to be running, holding her own sign. So they couldn't get like anybody together. Um, but just there's a lot of grassroots stuff here instead of just big pockets of it. Like we have the free libraries, and we have our Pride event is really our only big organized thing we have besides our food kitchen. And so it's really in its like it's kind of hidden away, but there's still stuff here. And so I just kind of following that kind of thing to put a name on it.
That was
Um,
beautiful.
I guess
Okay.
well since Nelson's gonna say like, oh, growing up indigenous, yes, that's been like a good 50% of my answer for my entire life. Because I did grow up with like being very close to the indigenous side of my family, even though I grew up outside of indigenous community. I have a large family that I was around all the time, and it started as soon as I can remember. As soon as I can remember interacting with non-indigenous kids, I remember like constantly having to answer their questions and then thinking they know stuff about us, and it's always wrong, and and all kinds of things. And being part of a family that's been educators for so long that it just kind of came naturally that I have to like kind of interface with these people all the time. But I'll say that Yeah, growing up in the Bush era, definitely. I'm a couple of years older than Nelson, so I was a little bit older when everything was happening. But I remember very specifically a couple of things that when I was in high school, somebody started a rumor that they were going to restart the draft, and watching panic take root in high school. Obviously, that didn't happen. That was not going to happen, but it was just like this rumor that went through school that this draft was going to happen, and everybody panicking, and me going home panicking, and my parents seeing me panic about something that they panicked about when they were young adults for the Vietnam era. And another thing was having Army recruiters come into my high school and try to recruit kids by having Xboxes in the back of Humvees. I had an open air high school because it was Florida. So they'd back these Humvees into like the main area that the students would hang out between classes. And they had Xboxes back there, like trying to get kids interested, and then they could recruit them from there. And then there's another weird part that I don't think I've ever talked about on the show before, but my first like really serious boyfriend was a member of the Socialist Party when I was in my late teens. He actually scared the fuck out of me out of joining any of these parties, because he was, in the end, emotionally and mentally abusive. And then when I came out of that, I didn't want to be anywhere near people who were like him, who would use words like he used, but knowing that I still felt a lot of the same ways that they did. So I kind of kept my finger on the pulse of leftism, of kind of left radical politics, whatever you want to, kept my finger on the pulse of that. And then like another of the weird ones, I am the chronically online one in this group, as Nelson likes to point out. In the early 2010s, like, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but online atheism became like a real big deal. Atheism conferences, people talking science a lot. And I was interested in what they had to say because I didn't have the vocabulary for these ideas for quite a long time. So I started watching these, and this is when I was a young adult. I was just married. I had just moved to the UK, and I was looking for a community, and it turned into the online atheism aspect became kind of a community that I wasn't active in, but I listened to quite a lot. And then around 2012, some of the people who were in the online atheist space, a lot of people of color, women, queer people, were all saying like, hey, this is a really white men's run area. There's a lot of men who are doing really misogynistic and sexist and like sexual harassment at these events and everything. So they kind of branched off, and this idea was created, I think, by Stephanie Zvan, who I think is still active, called Atheism Plus. And it's a stupid ass name, but it's called Atheism Plus because it was supposed to be we're atheists, but we believe in what back then was called like social justice, kind of. So we had a forum and everything that kind of where, yes, we're all atheists, but we're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about feminism, racism, ableism. And it's where I kind of had my boot camp of how to like start to disabuse myself of a lot of things that I didn't know that I was still holding on to, like a lot of internalized misogyny and ableism and things like that. So I kind of boot camped into activism at that point, like a full-on activism, going out to things. So for a short amount of time in London, I was doing public speaking and attending some protests and events and things like that. There's a couple videos of me out there. I was not prolific. Don't think that I'm like trying to big myself up. I'm really not. But I did a few public speaking events and everything. And when that kind of came down, that dovetailed almost exactly to when I met you, Nelson. So there's always another kind of wave of something that I want to keep my finger on. But this is the first time that I've like fully decided to like throw myself into something. So yeah. there's my radicalization.
Yeah.
Also just having to live in the world as a woman, as an indigenous person, somebody who's just found out that I probably am autistic and have ADHD, somebody who's just realizing that like I'm an immigrant, like I'm not realizing I'm an immigrant, but like I'm an immigrant in a country that is hostile towards immigration. Like there's a lot of things just existing that you're like, hey, everything about this sucks. So yeah. So shall we move on to our next question, the one that you wanted to? All right. What do you want our work on the podcast to mean, and who do you want to reach?
I want it to mean how do I set up my printer? Isn't here? How do I set up this
How do I
printer?
rotate
All right,
this
get your
PDF?
jitterbug.
Listen here, liberals. How do I fix this printer? Oh wait. Okay, yeah, I kept the instructions.
I love this bit you're doing that no one else can see but us.
It's not a bit. I
Here
don't know
I'm
how to...
talking about like my real life experience, and he's trying to figure out how to set up his printer.
Yeah, I thought you were joking, and then you.
No, I mean,
Do you want me to answer you?
Yes, I am joking to an extent, but like, it's one of the things on my mind. Yeah, my mind works. I'm just like thinking like a bazillion things on it, and it's gotten
Mark,
worse.
how about you answer that so that he can shut up and finally come back around to the conversation?
Mark, what? Aunt, save us, Mark.
So I guess kind of like how I was using it, like I like just like a little pocket of something that I identified with when I didn't really have anything else. Like I'm still the only trans person I know here. I'm still the only I guess like not just trans, but non-straight person I know. Just all of that needs an outlet for a lot of people. And so just being like, hey, yeah, you aren't alone, even though you're in the middle of nowhere and all your neighbors are scary. Like, just, I don't know. Because I don't really have, like, anything profound to say, I don't think. I just, I don't know. I like to be included.
I'm just here.
All right, Nelson.
All right, this fucking thing. So what do you want your work on the podcast to mean? Who do you want to reach? I don't know. It's kind of like changed a bit. It's what do you work on the pod? What do you want your work on the podcast? I mean, I don't know. Like I guess I want to educate people and make them laugh at the same time. Like I know like the history of the South is very dark, depressing, and shit, along with the rest of the country. So if we can like educate people to stuff they didn't know about while also making them laugh, I think that's a good thing. Who do I want to reach? Like that's changed a lot. First it was educating people outside the South about what the South is, but it's kind of warped into, in a good way, like what I call the Southern diaspora, like people that have had to leave the South because of like reactionary, regressive politics. And I've had a lot of people in the almost 4 years that we've been doing this message the podcast and say, hey, I didn't know other people like me existed.
They got him. They got his fax number.
What happened?
Nelson, are you back?
I froze. Oh
Yes.
no, what happened?
You got to reaching the Southern diaspora.
Oh shit, I'm the one who froze. Oh my god. Mark, what'd you say? They got my fax number? That was the first time I've ever frozen, I think, doing this. That's weird. It's because I got Spectrum internet now. Oh my god. What was the last? What did I say? What was the last thing I said?
You
got
got
pulled
reaching
out
the
of the
Southern
Matrix.
diaspora. People
okay.
that moved out and
I glitched. Reaching the Southern diaspora, and then the 4 years that about 4 years we've done the podcast. Well, two types of people have messaged me. It's never really been Yankees that are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like a few times it's been like that, but a lot of the times it's been one or two people that have had to leave the South, because of shitty family. They got disowned by their family for this, that, and the third. or they've had to leave because of regressive politics and reactionary just bullshit, right? Either they needed to move to a state that expanded Medicaid because they needed medical treatment, or they needed to get out for just a number of reasons. I had to leave the South. And a lot of them messaged me and be like, you message the podcast and they talk to me and it's like, hey, I miss the South. Like I miss the things that y'all talk about. I miss home, etc. So it's really nice to hear people that are still in the South that have our politics, like talking about like what it means to be Southern, et cetera, et cetera. And then the other type of person that messaged me is someone that's still in the South and like very like in just the middle of fucking nowhere. And they're like, hey, I'm a leftist in like, you know, bumfuck Mississippi, right? And they're like, I'm so happy. Like I didn't know there were other people in the South that had like my views and my opinions on things, etc. My hometown has like maybe 500 people in it, and like I'm the only leftist here, blah blah blah, etc. And you know, it's nice that people reach out and say those things, and it's like really cool because I never thought that it would get like that far, right? I never thought it would be like up the something that people listen to, and to like I don't want to be like, you know, that what am I trying to say? People listen to because they like, you know, they see us as like friends, like they see us all like they see us as like the voice, like their voice, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like we're the ones that they listen to because we're in the deep South and we're saying things that not a lot of people down here say, and they're like, hey, I didn't know that there were people like us down here. And so that helps because then they go out and they find other people in real life that have the same views and they organize and stuff like that. And then, like I said, the other hand is the people that have the Southern diaspora that have left and want to come home, but they can't for like a number of reasons. They can't come home. A lot of them are in the Pacific Northwest, and I think that's why we have our a big fan base up there, because a lot of the quote unquote Southern diaspora goes to Portland for some reason. But yeah, I think that's who I want to reach, and that's who I'm glad that we're reaching. And yay. And I've told these two, as Kai calls me a chuckle fuck. I've told these two that we have a like 170,000 whatever downloads, right? So like there's definitely people out there that are like, oh my god, I think Mark's the coolest person ever, or like, oh my god, I think Kai's the coolest person ever, and like, oh my god, Nelson's a fucking loser. But like but there's people out there that probably, because like when I listen to like bigger podcasts, I'm like, oh, that's so cool, blah blah blah. If I ever like got to meet them, blah blah blah, it'd be so cool. But there's obviously people out there that probably think the same thing about us. And living in you got to hear the ambulance and the fire truck out there.
No.
I'm living in the city. I hear the ambulance and the fire truck.
The big city.
And they go, but yeah, there's people out there that are probably like, oh my god, these guys are so cool. They think we're the coolest people ever. But if they hung around us for like a piece, I'd be like, what the fuck? These people are weirdos like
No,
me.
I'm fun.
We are a lot of fun.
I'm fun. I'm cool. I'm hip.
I have
Okay,
mental.
Mark, okay.
I have
I'm
panic
remember that
attacks.
next time you try to freak out at Chili's.
Chili's. I was about to say, I have panic
I was in a
attacks at Chili's
strange
too.
place.
I am on comfort. Kai and I are like busting out laughing, shoving fucking the sample platter food in our
I
mouth.
had a big day.
And Mark's just like sensory overload. I had to talk to more than one person in real life.
Really didn't sound like I'm like saying this out loud when I'm really just extremely quiet.
Dissociating into a corner.
Like we literally just had a normal fun day, and you're like,
Okay.
It was a big day.
Oh yeah, you get your blanket out. There you go.
Remember, we pulled Mark out of the woods for this.
We really
okay?
did. Mark's like, holy shit, there's some big city. This is lights. What the hell is this? People are outside at 10 o'clock at night. What the fuck? Ain't they know the coyotes out here?
That's what I was fixing to say. The guy
They
was-
was wolves.
Oh my god. Okay. Let me answer my own question. Like I said, I'm from a family who's done education for quite a long time, and I'm very used to being kind of the face of being an Indian. Like I'm the first, sometimes I'm the first native that people have ever met, especially. So I neglected to add earlier when I was saying who I am. I grew up in Florida. I spent the first 20 years of my life in Florida, but I moved to the UK in 2010 and married a British person. And I spend quite a lot of time back in Florida, like probably at least a third of the year back in Florida, as long as there's no pandemics going on. So I still like consider myself a Southerner. That's where I grew up. I also grew up in the city, as opposed to Mark, who grew up in the woods. And I grew up in a place that's very like kind of transient. People move to Orlando for jobs. People from all over the place move to Orlando for jobs, move to Florida for jobs, for tax reasons, et cetera, et cetera. So my upbringing was quite different to the very rural people that I feel like I bring like the perspective of like a city dweller to this, somebody who knows the South, knows the South, knows what happens in places outside of the city that I grew up in, knew about like the racism and the political corruption and everything. But I do want to reach people who have never met natives before, who have no idea that there are still native people living in the South. And even though none of my tribes are from the South, like there are native people do move. Like I've moved plenty of times. So I don't want, I have encountered people so often who have asked me like, oh, you can't be telling the truth because all natives died out. You can't, do you still live in a teepee? Do you still live in a wigwam? Do you know how to speak English? I have slept in a teepee. I have had teepees in my front yard several times. However, I do not live in one. I have lived in houses. I've also lived in trailer parks. I've also lived inside theme parks before. So what are you trying to get at? I get very frustrated with these people, but I also know that I would rather be the one who is doing the explaining for the first time than them meeting another Indigenous person and them having to do it. That I've had enough experience dealing with non-natives my entire life that even though it frustrates me to no end, and I will almost guarantee that afterwards I'll be going back home and gnashing my teeth and pulling my hair from everything that you've just said to me. However, I'd rather deal with it than have another Indigenous person have to deal with it. And I make Indian country my business. I specifically look for news all the way out to California, to Alaska, up in upstate New York, where the tribe I associate with the most is from. It's upstate New York and Montreal. I know about things happening in the Southwest. I'm not very good at keeping track of things happening in Mexico and South America. However, I still get news from these places. I make it my business to know so that when somebody asks me a question, I can at least give them a place to start looking for an answer if I can't give them an answer. And I don't want to be the voice of Indian country. I just want to be a entry point, an entry barrier, if it has to come to that, for racists and people who are truly ignorant of everything to the point of being offensive. So I know that in the South, people like me are somewhat rare. And so I would like to make sure that I am telling people like the South is not only settlers. It's not only people who their ancestors were enslaved. It's not only current settlers. It's not only colonists. There are Indigenous people in the South. There's Indigenous people all over the world. There's people from the Yukon Territory all the way down to freaking the bottom of South America. And I want people to know that, so that when they're, especially leftists, so that when they do things like, this is one of the first things that I ever said on this show, when they do things like use, who is it? Woody Guthrie's song, "This Land Is Your Land." Like, the fuck it isn't. It is not your land. So I'm not standing for that. And we get forgotten about a lot. Indigenous people are forgotten about and erased a lot, purposely erased and sometimes and forgotten about because of these things. So I want to make sure that it's hey, we're here. We're the original stewards of this land. We know how to use this land and keep it healthy and keep the human population healthy. You don't get this land just because you think we aren't here. All of those things. And if I can reach anybody doing that, anybody in this country, in Europe, in wherever people are listening to us, I want to be that entry point. So yeah, that's who I want to reach. That's what I want my work to do. So whoever wants to go first, what has been your experience doing this show, be it positive or negative? Or both, whatever parts you want to talk about. What's your experience?
It's positive. I love you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any like real negative mental health side effects from it because I don't run any of the social media stuff. So what do I got to complain about?
I put the negative part in there so I can put part of my answer in here, is that we have had bad guests before, and people getting in touch with Nelson because he is the head of social media, people getting in touch with him that just drive him crazy and have said very problematic things. There have been negative parts of doing this.
God, there has been I realized why Stalin purged so many people, because the block button is the greatest thing ever. Because like when people send me like unhinged message requests, right? And that's another, getting rid of Facebook was great because like I get like other like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok have like message requests and filters, right? So if I get a message request from some like fucking yokel or like just chronically online leftist that's just like a rant with no punctuation, no indentation, just an essay about how much they disagree with a meme, the greatest thing is just be like, block, delete.
Agreed.
It's just like
great.
Shut up. It's a fucking meme. Like stop. There's nothing like stop digging into it, to the fact that like I know like the right has taken woke and just like beat into the ground and turned into something it's not. But like before all that happened, there was like a great meme going around that's like, I want to be so woke I can't enjoy anything. And it's just like, it's a fucking meme. Shut up. It's just, oh my God. The shit that I have been, the shit that has like, people have like messaged me, like replying to something or just like ranting about something is the dumbest shit. It's like, obviously one satire is dead on the left. That's one thing. And like sarcasm doesn't exist. And like, it was I forgot what it was recently. It was somebody from Virginia, like Appalachian region, was making fun of Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town by like actually listing like funny things you don't do in a small town, like don't eat the food from the gas station buffet because you don't know like who's touched it, or because like some kids probably sneezed on it or some shit.
Hooter came in here to buy fish and worms and also touch the mac and cheese.
Exactly. Now it's a difference. Buying the food at the gas station behind the counter with a nice lady like boxes up for you, that's different. But like, don't eat the food from the buffet at the goddamn gas station. You're probably gonna get dysentery. Like shit like that. And some fucking multicolored hair person from the West Coast somewhere said classist much, and I'm just like, this person that did this as a joke is also like from Appalachia and poor and did this as like a funny thing. And I froze again. Did I?
Yeah, you did. You got as far as multicolored hair and they silenced you.
That's fucking wild. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my. That's so weird. That's so funny that like I'm the one freezing now, and I have like I have all the bars. That's gonna suck when I have to do assignments. But okay. So it was some like multicolored hair jackass from fucking, I guess, the Pacific Northwest or someone not from the South, and was like,
let's get more creative. Let's say like Sedona. or something.
Sedona's
Salem.
pretty bad.
Salem, Oregon, Olympia, Washington. Fucking message like commented was like classist much or some bullshit like that, and they didn't follow me, so we went to the message request. And I'm thinking, I'm like, did you not pick up on the fact that like this person is from Appalachia and is making fun of Jason Aldean's song, and like the stuff that she's saying is actually like really funny and shit that like is legit and like funny things that people joke about that live in like the South and small towns and shit like that. And like you who have never probably been down here at all, like want to judge and say this is classic. Like, how are you gonna like say like another poor Southerner is like classes? Like, against what?
If
like,
you don't eat the 3-day-old fried chicken off the bar, then you're a classist.
you're a fucking bourgeois jackass.
Oh, it ain't good enough for you, boy.
Ain't good enough for you. You want them bourgeois. You want them bourgeoisies. Them bourgeoisies.
I'm thinking of like this
All
very
right, fancy pants.
Mister.
this very specific place that's in near Ocala where my grandma lived, and this is what I mean. Like, I know about like the South. Even though I grew up in Orlando, which is not the South, but like I know about what happened outside of that.
Florida is becoming the most southern of southern states at this point.
There's this place called the Dam Diner. It's a diner that's on a dam, and right next to it is literally a shack. It's a shack where you go to buy worms for fishing in the dam.
That's
And
charming.
and it's attached to the diner, and all I'm thinking of is like it's also like a motorcycle place. A lot of people go to them on their motorcycles out there. It's like one of those places where it's like, I don't know that I specifically want to eat at the diner where you also buy worms for fishing. But cool.
We ain't talking about Bucky. We ain't talking about bussies, y'all. It's like going to Bucky's. That's some high class shit right there. We're talking about fucking. We're talking about you're not on the interstate. You're on some backcountry fucking highway, and the gas station does like to pay with a credit card. You have to go inside because the fucking gas pumps are still like the fucking rotary ones, or they
like that scary place in Alabama I went.
Exactly. Or they just upgraded to like the electronic ones, but like they don't take card. You still got to go inside and prepay. And like that's the gas station we're talking about. Like there's one specific one.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly. There's one on Highway 8. Like there's one out in West Montgomery, like off Highway 80, like you're going to Selma. But it's like like if you head into the racetrack. And that shit's good. Like they got some good ass food. Like the breakfast, the sausage biscuits, and the coffee. Like it's just fucking great. It's amazing. Like that's some of the best food you ever have in your entire life. If you can get to a backwoods gas station and get the meat and three at one of those places, it's fucking great. But the buffet, don't eat at the buffet because, like Kai said, Jim Bob done got live bait and touched the fucking chicken, or someone's kid sneezed on it, or it's been there for 3 days.
Uncle Emery's dentures fell out into the mashed potatoes.
Damn it, Uncle Emery. We told you, do not sneeze with your mouth open over here.
Damn it, Cletus.
There's a place.
This is
He
the
done
third time
spit-
this week I've had to fish your dentures outside of this
He done
fucking chicken noodle soup.
You done spit back of juice in the damn gravy
Oh,
again.
not the backer.
Not the backer.
Places where you find chaw, okay? If you find chaw, you probably
Why
are
is this
eating
gravy? Why does this gravy taste like wintergreen? Blech.
They had chicken biscuits like that. They're really good, but they had rats like as big as like your hand.
So
So,
is it
you
really
know.
chicken? Is it actually a chicken biscuit?
I mean, they had tenderloin biscuits that were a little suspicious.
Speaking of
Don't
which,
mind the rats.
there's a Chick-fil-A like on my street, and I'm really tempted to like walk to Chick-fil-A and get food, but I'm not gonna do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You
I'm
fall
not gonna
once.
do it.
Oh, why don't you just go ahead and call me a slur?
Listen here,
Mark, you worked there.
I did, and
You
I
worked in one
applaud
that
because I thought
wasn't
it'd
even
be
a
funny.
building.
did you get a milkshake from there the other day?
Yeah, it was a joke. There's no
Oh,
ethical
it was
consumption.
I'm ironically getting this
My
milkshake.
little treat. Also, they're about to be closed. Well, no, sorry, the time's different. You can say you missed the boat, buddy, but you got
Yeah,
another
bud.
hour.
But yeah, basically I asked that question just to like highlight the point that like we are people. We are normal people. We do not get paid by the podcast.
Yeah,
We
my God.
basically barely make enough to make sure that everything keeps running through our Patreon.
God
And
damn.
Nelson is the one who's dealing with the social media. So one, all of your complaints are going to him, and he's having to deal with it.
Can I add
and
your
then
name
we
to a
deal with him.
list? And then when the time
Yeah,
comes,
but in a dartboard.
when the society breaks down, I'm taking my block list and I'm gonna find you.
All right.
It's like a good comic book, like a post. Like,
Yeah, Revenge of the Cis Straight White Man.
Revenge of the Sith.
well, that's like all of it. Like Mad Max, Ugh. I'm getting cursed by the whatever was making your internet go out. It's silencing me.
Mark would be A New Hope, and Kai would be Return of the Jedi, and I would be
I don't
Revenge
know
of
what
the
that
Sith.
means. I haven't seen
I'm too
your,
good for Star Wars.
God
your
damn it.
fancy movies.
Whatever, Mark.
All right. Is there
Shoot,
a topic
little
that you
beard.
want to cover in the future?
Oh, I know a topic that we should cover in the future that we were supposed to, but somebody who's gonna remain nameless, who may or may not be in the generation after Kai and I, never could get their fucking shit together. to
Oh, it's
fucking do
almost
it.
like I have a full-time job and I have to go to school.
Oh, don't even start. If you had the past week that I had, your brain would have literally melted out of your fucking ears. You think
That sounds like a
Chili's?
personal
You
problem.
think Chili's is bad?
There's just that one Chili's, bro.
Oh my god!
Had bad vibes. The
The
vibes
one
were
where we
off
had to sit.
in the
The
Chili's.
one we had to sit in the lobby and watch the
we have
window
been
rot.
we have been planning. We have been planning. We were trying to get that episode way before you were in school.
All right. Without recriminations, tell me what you want to say.
The Trail of Tears.
You specifically want to cover that. You.
Oh no, not me. Obviously,
That's
no.
the question, Nelson.
Oh, what I want to. Oh shit. Fuck. Oh, I know.
Mhm.
I know I brought it up a million times before, but I think I've kind of switched to okay, there's two things. I want to have Chris back on to either talk about one, the anti-Italian discrimination event in New Orleans, or probably more recent would be Katrina. I think there's a lot of stuff to talk about what happened during Hurricane Katrina, and have Chris on and talk about that.
Mr. Chris, your top teacher guy.
Super teacher. Super
Okay,
duper
Mark.
teacher.
What topic do you want to cover in the future?
Yeah, Mark, what
Well,
topic?
What Nelson's hinting at is I floated the idea of invasive species. So there's that. That's what my kind of interest is in. That's what I go to school for, is biology and medical science. So stuff like that.
So we need
Yay.
everybody listening to flood our social media saying, we want Mark's episode so that Mark will actually do it.
Lonely artist, lonely
Apparition.
apparition, the
Uh-huh.
lonely position of neutral.
Yeah, they'll find it.
I'm gonna put it on Instagram. Put it back
Okay.
put it back in the bio.
You keep doing that.
Everyone go follow Mark. Sweet Mac.
As for me, I would like some more. We've had lots of really good ideas come through the years, and I don't want to like spill all of them and have you be like, you should do that. Like we none of us have working brains, so they have to happen kind of one at a time. Okay.
Yeah, got that
Um,
right.
But as far as myself, I would like any more indigenous episodes where I don't have to traumatize myself researching them, which would be the Trail of Tears. That would traumatize me a lot. And the last time that I've done a really heavy subject like that, it sat on me for quite a long time. Or some more pop culture stuff. Like I really like talking about movies. I like talking about music and things that kind of fit into how we see the South, how we interact with it through media. So I would like to have our past guest, Mr. Donald Gilroy, to come back on and talk about horror movies. Like, I would really love to do that episode.
Yeah, we could get him, and we could get
I can picture who you're talking about. I'm gonna let you.
yeah.
I'm gonna let you come to that by yourself, though.
Shut up, Mark.
He followed me back on TikTok recently.
He's looking. He's looking. He's gonna tell on himself.
Yeah, eat it up. Eat it up. Yeah. Fucking little shit.
What else could we do? We could do
Everything's so blurry.
we could go back and like redub old episodes. But instead of people who aren't on it anymore, it'll be me and Kai talking to you. We'll read it like a script. And take out the bad part.
Wait. Yeah, I don't want to say anything that some of our past hosts say.
Yeah, let's not.
We'll fix it. We'll retcon it.
So are you talking about a TikToker who likes to talk about?
Yes, and that because I don't want my internet stuff. Hold on, I'm just gonna have to fucking reconnect to the internet with my phone.
Oh my god.
Okay, is a TikToker who likes to talk about urban legends and cryptids and things like that. Nelson will find who this person who is very cool, and we are not going to give over any names because he's the one who brought this up. All right, since Nelson is looking around, Mark, what is a moment in the show's?
Huh?
Josh. I'm gonna bring Joshua back on.
What's his
Don't
TikTok
interrupt her
name?
again.
God damn it. Oh my god. Hold on. Everything's so blurry and everyone's so fake.
Would you like to ask the question again? I feel like we're on a game show and he keeps buzzing in.
So
What is the moment in the show's past that you think is important or a good place to start?
Joshua Darian.
Mark.
Is that your final answer?
I just want my printer to work. I want my fucking printer to work.
I started from the beginning. Don't do that.
What?
I started
the
from
show
the beginning.
start from the very beginning. Don't do that.
Yeah.
There are some rough episodes at the very beginning.
Oh yeah, just don't listen to the very beginning. Just what's oof. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what because I haven't listened to a single one that I'm in. So I could be like, yeah, this was really fun, I think. All of the pro-choice episodes are really, really good.
Yeah.
Ones with Mia, especially.
Yeah.
RIP
I think that those sound the best, the most professional. I think that they have the most readily usable information, I guess. I mean, all of it's important, but just I feel like most people that need that information are in a very dire state. And let's see what else. I'm like going back through and I'm like, no.
I know which my one of my favorite ones was probably a most famous guest was High Thurman. I think with the Young Patriots episode, that was really good. I think that was a really good educational episode to talk with somebody who was actually on the ground with a lot of famous people with the Black Panthers back in the day in Chicago, Fred Hampton, etc. So that was definitely a great episode. That was probably one of my favorites overall. The guests that we've had when it comes to having a guest on, that one is definitely it.
Yeah, and primary sources like that are really,
If you want to cry, listen to Kai's episode on residential schools.
I was gonna say, like, of the ones that I feel like are important, and tooting my own horn, I guess, the residential school episode was the one that I put like blood, sweat, and tears into. It was very hard to do. Unfortunately, it involves someone who was a host who we are not associated with anymore. So I wish they weren't on there. But for the most part, it's me talking about it. One, if you decide to listen to it, please take heed of the trigger warnings that I put at the beginning and in the middle of the show. You have to. If any of the
rough.
Yeah.
It is probably the hardest episode I've ever done, and if we do the Trail of Tears, it will be just as bad. So that's kind of like the work that I feel like is the best. As for a place to start, the first few episodes were a little bit rough. That's what I started listening from the second episode. So I'm kind of a original fan. So I can't really like differentiate between like, oh, the stages it's gone, especially because I've been on the show for almost 2 years now. But I would say that the ones with Mia are very, very good. The abortion laws and everything like that. And those are probably like the most important, the best information. However, it is dated at this point, especially following the fall of Roe v. Wade. So that information is probably not topical right now, but the information like setup is very, very good on those. Yeah. And I think we all miss Mia a lot.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna have folks on from Yellowhammer to talk about stuff that's happening now. But yeah, definitely the abortion episodes with Mia, I think we did 4 in total, were definitely probably some of the most informative ones. But yeah, R.I.P.
And to take us out, how about we get one hot take from everybody? Who wants to hit their hot take first?
And we got to talk about how Mark got the nickname Sweet Mark.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sweet Mark. My mom.
Oh, your lovely father
is first generation Italian American from New York, and she was like, "Did Sweet Mac get here? Okay, how's Sweet Mac? Oh, Sweet Mac." And then it morphed into like from that to like Mark Wahlberg, like some sort of Boston accent named Sweet Mac.
And my meatball making hands.
Oh yeah, and
your
then
perfect meatball hands.
And then we all came.
Showing you up in your own kitchen.
Everyone came over to my mom's house, and Mark was there first, and Mark helped me make the meatballs. And my mom said my meatballs were too big, but Mark had the perfect meatball size making hands to make the perfect size meatballs.
My tombstone.
Sweet man. That's why Mark is Sweet Mark, and Kai and I have the meaty peasant hands.
Meaty peasant hands. The sound that we make when we high five, honestly, it's a little disconcerting.
Those fucking boop and that fucking boop
no,
and that
too far.
Fucking war.
Oh my god, we have again. This is like a reintroduction episode. We have a lot of inside jokes. I'm sorry.
If we could just make that shirt, if we could just make with these meaty peasant hands, Mark's perfect meatball size making hands, and those fucking boop and that fucking Roosevelt.
Yeah, we'll write it out.
Fucking war.
What was said?
Just have this
Patreon exclusive.
No.
Yeah, if you wanna know when my mom had a few too many glasses of wine and told us stories
when
about
she drank half a bottle of rosé.
She half a bottle of rosé and was telling us stories from New York about the mafia and World War II. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Y'all's parents liked me.
Everyone loves you, Mark.
Of course.
The best experience though, obviously, is when Kai and I went to go help you, Mark, after your surgery.
Just wait, ready for round 2.
Oh my god, the fucking aquarium.
There's so many. Like, if you are not on our Patreon, please join our Patreon. All of our money goes to like supporting the show, and anything that's
and we
extra
donate
goes
it to GoFundMe's and organizations and shit like that. It's literally $3. Okay, I know other podcasts like $5 a month. No, it's $3 a month, right?
Yeah, 2 less.
$3.
There's a dollar for each of us.
Exactly, and you get access to our After Dark episodes. It's $3, and there's like 50 After Dark episodes. So we try, quote unquote, try to put out 2 free episodes a month and then 2 Patreon episodes a month. So you get 4 whole episodes in theory if you subscribe to our Patreon. So yeah, it's $3.
Part of the reason that we're so lax with our schedule at this point is because, one, our Patreon request is pretty low. And we try not to, like, this, again, this is not our job. We're not trying to like wreck our mental or physical health.
I would love for this to be our job. If we could somehow make enough money to like cover rent, utilities, and like as much as I'm making now at my new job, I'd quit in a fucking heartbeat and just be a podcaster.
But then you actually have to put out 4 episodes a month.
Deal. If I was making, if literally my job was podcasting, it would literally be, all right, we're putting out the free episode in the Patreon in the same week. We'd put out like 8 episodes a month, like every other normal podcast. But we're not vlogging channel. We don't have that with that Chapo Trap House money. So
and yet the ones that, again, one of the things that makes us different is that our Patreon exclusive episodes are called After Darks. They are just us fucking around. It's this kind of energy for 2 hours talking about the news or things that have happened in our life.
We literally took what podcasts do and flipped it on its head. The educational episodes are free, and us being jackasses cost $3. Hey, also on a side note, Ian Fidance, the comedian, actually listens to the podcast. So shout out to Ian Fidance and the podcast being Ian Jordan.
So does Theo Vaughn.
No, he doesn't. Are you serious?
No. I don't know who the other guy is.
Fuck you, Mark. You little shit. Fucking thing froze. God damn it.
Frozen again.
This is bullshit, man. I hate being the one that freezes. Why is this happening?
All right. Before it freezes again, I need a hot take. Nelson, give me a hot take.
Fuck you, Mark. That's my hot take.
No, I want a real hot take.
What cut off when when Mark said
everything? As soon as like you took a drink of your drink and it cut off.
Did you hear me talk about how Ian Fidance listens to the podcast?
Yes.
And when you okay, and then
right, that's why I said Theo Vaughn did.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fuck you for saying that, you little shit. My hot take is, if you're still bar hopping and you're not in college, you're an alcoholic.
That's it? You're not going to qualify or anything?
Some people just have fun.
Some people are alcoholics.
What? Like,
some alcoholics have fun.
Hot take: if you make your entire personality about like your political ideology, go talk to people in real life. Because
and make a podcast
and make a like no, don't make a podcast, please, for the love of God. Because there's just so many people out there. It's just like they make like their political identity and theory, especially the theory heavy people, their whole fucking personality. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck. I have a master's degree in political science. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like,
makes me not want to read ever again.
Yeah, if you can't take your fucking theory and put it into layman's terms, shut the fuck up, please.
If the people can't read the work for the people, then
the people gotta work for the reading the people, man. Roll tides.
Okay, Boomhauer.
My name. Oh no! Fucking no!
Have you ever had a dream?
Fucking rest in peace to Dale. The voice actor who plays Dale died.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, give me your hot take.
Overweight animals aren't cute, and you should feel bad.
You need to calm down. I'm adorable.
Nelson and
like
I just
that.
share fat cats back and forth. Okay.
Look, Mark, so let the
Cat,
cats
look,
let the cats like stop being
It's gonna
fat.
get
Stop being
diabetes and
fat phobic,
die.
Mark. Stop being
They're gonna
fat
die
phobic.
anyway.
Yeah, Mark,
Yeah,
don't be fat
they're gonna die
phobic.
quicker.
All right, let the cat eat. Okay, especially
Okay. I'm gonna hit you with the anecdotal evidence. All right, my cat who passed away earlier this year, he was overweight for his entire life. He had kidney crystals. He had all kinds of things that were associated with weight gain that were bad for a male cat. He had to go into surgery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What finally killed him? Lung cancer.
Damn, I'm Wilford Brimley and I got diabetes. I'm Wilford
Look.
Brimley cat and I got diabetes.
Look, that was my hot look. This isn't debate class. This is my hot take. And my also hot take is people who have like the overweight wild animals that they quote rehab are bad people. You're not rehabbing it.
Mark, I think you're just jealous that you don't have the capabilities to have all these animals, these woodland critters.
I tried hard enough.
You are a
If
woodland
I'm
critter.
fast enough.
Oh, no, them
Mark's just yanking
There were
coyotes into their car.
Them
There
coyotes,
was
them coyotes
turkeys
out
outside
there.
my house.
What the hell? People outside past sundown.
I could
No,
get a
them
turkey.
coyotes out there. Gobble gobble.
Oh my god. Okay. My hot take is that, and I'm gonna have to qualify this. My hot take is that listening to audiobooks is not reading. And I will say that this is not
ableist, much sweaty.
Excuse me, sweaty.
It's because if you listen to a radio play, you're not reading the play. It's a specificity of language thing. And I think if you're listening to somebody do an audiobook, you're listening to storytelling. And by saying that it's reading, you're lessening the impact of storytelling. Storytelling is very, very important. It's something that we lessen because Europeans decided that storytelling was inaccurate or stupid or whatever. So if you're listening to an audiobook, you're listening to storytelling. You're still doing something that is good for your brain, something that's good to learn by. It's a great resource to use audiobooks. However, if you're listening to that, you are not reading. Reading is the act of your eyes doing the thing on the page. Okay? If you have not cracked open that book yourself, it's not reading.
Oh, okay. My hot take is that podcasts are dumb, especially this.
That's not a hot take. That's lukewarm.
I know, right?
that is a fully like normal take.
It has to be something that are going to get under people's skins that they'll only message you on Instagram.
If you have a parasocial relationship with a meme page / podcast, go talk to people in real life.
No, we love you.
No, we do. We do love you.
Nelson hates the fans, though.
My God, I hate them so much.
The price of fame.
No, what happened to Mark? Mark, what happened? No, sweet Mark. Mark, no, Mark, what happened? Is that gonna fuck up the audio? I hope not. Mark, what happened? Mark died.
Oh my God, his computer died.
No, sweet man.
Okay. We'll finish up the show and then we'll get Mark back.
Sweet man.
Oh no.
No,
it's just a black screen.
Sweet man. What? No. Is it my tablet that I gave him, or is this the Okay, good. It's not the tablet.
Why aren't they using the tablet?
Because it's Mark. I can't believe this. Well, y'all, that's the end of the episode, I guess.
That's the end of the show.
End of the show.
Canceled.
Thank you for tuning in to What's Left of the South, a podcast about Southern working class history and current events from a leftist perspective. Mark is dead. Tyler is MIA. Kai is here, and I am fucking tired. So, good Lord willing, and the aliens blow up the planet tomorrow. We'll see you eventually.